moving on to futures. All right, so we sold off, hit the yellow zone, pushed up, okay, this is a real zone now. How wild is that? We do have a couple of new people here. They're probably lurking right now. It's wild because I drew these zones out sarcastically because somebody asked me for zones on something that hasn't even hit that price yet. So I sarcastically drew this zone out, this zone, and this zone. And we jumped up and bounced right there. That is a full-blown zone. Everything about it. All right, so anyway, we sell off. Powell talks. This is exactly the dip I was talking about yesterday. As if we get a sell-off, I'm going to buy the dip. I don't think actually – did I time that just right? I think I bought my calls right before. Anyway, I did buy SPY calls for this week. I think I bought it around this – what time was that? That was in the morning. Nope. Had to be – yeah, so I'm pretty close to that zone. Anyway, like I talked about yesterday, looking for the dip buy because I think Powell's going to have a green reaction. We got that up. I would say tomorrow would probably be the continuation. I think that would end up being a bull flag. We were supposed to buy Palantir today. I was going to alert everybody. I want to get back onto. I'm not really buying the dip on Palantir, but because we have $150 going into the growth account, I'm going to start using that to start accumulating Palantir. Now, if it does actually pull back and we get a leg down, then I'll take a chunk and just buy the rest. Because right now we have 45 shares. We need 55 more shares to get to 100 so we can start getting income off of it. But instead of just waiting for the pullback, I'm going to start accumulating. So really as far as like that zone I just showed you, missing that zone, not detrimental. Negligible. It doesn't matter at this point. And anytime you guys are accumulating shares in general, price action, I don't want to say it goes out the window, but it's far more forgiving, especially when you have a goal of, let's just say you want 100 shares, okay, but your account's smaller, so you're not buying hundreds at a time, or maybe not even tens at a time. I know someone in here right now wants to get 100 shares of NVIDIA. Price action, for the amount of time it's going to take you to get to 100 shares of NVIDIA, you might buy some peaks. You might really buy some dips. As far as accumulating goes, just send it. I think it's probably more important, unless it turns into an absolute pump and dump, a clear momentum trade, then I would just buy it. You got the extra money? Apply it. And that's it. You know, like, again, we're going to start accumulating shares of Palantir. Okay? Now, I missed the zone at 30. I would have bought it here in the morning. 100% would have bought at that zone. So 36.30. We're about $1 off. All right, it's a few dollars. Big deal. When we're talking about 100, by the time we have 100 of these, it's $3,700. And what if I told you 100 of these was $3,704? And that's still in the same realm, right? There's still just that fudged area. Now, could Palantir absolutely just pull back to 32? Of course. Does that really matter? Because you accumulated a few shares here, threw a few more down here at the bottom. No, it'll work itself out. So when it comes to accumulating, price action's cool and all, but as far as sitting back and waiting, I think you end up missing. You stand to miss more than you do just holding cash. I sold in the money on Beto today, and as of now, I still have the shares. Sold $18.50. Nice. Yeah, as long as it's not in the money, so you don't have to pay that dividend to somebody else. Anyway, everything I just ranted about kind of all boils down to what is your plan. And if your plan is a specific number of shares, remember that's not a trading strategy. That's not even really an investing strategy. That's an income strategy. And the $100 share, the 100 share mark is what unlocks that premium. So at that point, that's your goal. You're just shoveling kindling into the fire. And hopefully it pulls back while you're doing it. But it's a little bit more forgiving when you're just accumulating a few shares. Let's say you had, well, let's say you had enough to buy 90 shares, chunk that thing in now, because you're just so close. I guess where price action becomes definitely more, higher up on the scale, higher up on the totem pole, is when you're looking to get in here and get out here. Because if we bought all Palantir right now at 37.18 and Palantir just sold off, we're still selling the 38 strike, the 37 strike. We still have income coming every week. Remember when Nvidia, we bought it at 120. Where was the last peak? Was it right here? It was before earnings. Was it back here? Yeah, so we bought Nvidia at 120. Sells off. There's not a week that's gone by that we haven't made money on Nvidia. We haven't sold a single share, but we've seen really down, really up, down, up. Yet every week we make money. Anyway, I don't know where that rant came from, but accumulating, just accumulate. Anyway, bull flag on the S&P. Nothing as far as the expected moves go. That's all-time highs, isn't it? So we'll hit all-time highs tomorrow. Rachel says, me. She is one. That is accumulating. You're not the only one. But yeah, they're sitting around staring at it, and then there's doing it. One pays more. I promise. All-time highs every day. I mean, in a bull market, we're at all-time highs. Yeah. I don't know why people... If there's ever one thing that does kind of just doesn't like really annoy you, but I wonder why they waste the time putting out headline articles about all-time highs when it's about every other day. When we're in a bull market and we're at all-time highs, like that's just kind of what you do. You just keep ticking this thing up until one day you're not. Like, but every day, stock market is all-time highs, and they like tie it to something. NASDAQ. Man, that looks like a fake out. Pick, Dom, you guys all right? That looks like a bear trap. Anybody that was bearish, and I just called out Pick and Dom. I just know sometimes they're bearish, but they also should know I'm not picking on them. But yeah, breaking this right here, you would probably think, hey, here we go. Well, that zone just didn't hold up. And they wanted you to think that. And then they just caught it right back up. Either a stop hunt, or that does look like some form of manipulation. Drop it down, because you could probably just send it right here. And then you got everybody loading up short, or either loading up short or selling their shares. Like, here's your stop right below this. It probably would have been easy. You don't have to pay for order flow to know someone's stop is right there. Trigger that, drops it a little bit more. You're the one buying it all back up, send it back up. The thing is they're probably not doing that with the NASDAQ for this move. That's a lot of money for traders, not a lot of money for institutions. J Powell wearing a different color tie. What color was this tie today? They sold it off when he said only 25 basis points in the next two cuts, then bought it back up when he was done talking. Man. Again, I'm taking that as manipulation and a continuation up. Real quick, Dom, when are your puts expiring? Are they November? Great. Chat disconnected? Why? Chat disconnected. Please wait while we try to... I guess I'll just tag everyone over here. Connection's fine. Everything's good. It just says the chat is disconnected. Okay. And connected. Still here. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So November 15th. All right. I haven't copied you on that yet, but I don't know when I'm going to pull the trigger. I got to say, I think I'm bullish at least the next couple weeks. I think a lot of mine might have a bias with Tesla because I think we're rocking there, and then to sell the news event and hopefully the market sell off with it. So at some point, I'm probably going to jump on some November 15th. Probably going to be in and out of that trade in the middle of October, but I want to give it time. As far as the Qs go, though, I think probably not all-time highs tomorrow. But I do bet a green day. A little Russ. I would even bet Russell has a green day after that. Going to be painful. What is middle of October? Is anybody even trading the Russell? Is Russell something I need to break down every night? Lurkers, this is the time for you to open up. What if I just breezed right on through the Russell? Is anybody actually trading that? I still will, 100%. Nobody ever comments on it. Nobody ever trades it. I trade it probably 6 times a year.